everyone, so this is my review of the pilot episode of Batwoman, and basically what the premise of the show is about and stuff is that Kate Kane decides to return to Gotham when it's discovered that this new gang is threatening her father and her ex-girlfriend. And this was a very, very entertaining first episode that had a very good premise to it and did a very good job, in my opinion, of setting up Batwoman and her sort of whole storyline around who she is and her connection to Gotham and to Batman and all this different stuff. They did a very good job of sort of setting up that whole premise there. And that led to a bunch of very great moments to it. And just seeing that whole building and evolution of Kate Kane and how she eventually sort of suits up and becomes Batwoman was very well done, and I really did enjoy seeing that sort of prototype suit that she wore in this episode that wasn't exactly the classic Batwoman suit, but had much more elements of a classic Batman suit, and that was very interesting to see, and I'm very interested to see sort of the evolution of how she eventually gets into her more classic Batwoman suit. Then everything with the actual storyline in this episode where it's Alice and her sort of Wonderland gang going up against the Crows and Kate Kane sort of stepping into the middle of all that was very interesting to see how all that played out. And because of the fact that I am aware of who Alice is beforehand, the whole reveal at the end of this episode around her and stuff wasn't that huge of a surprise to me. But it was still very interesting sort of how they made that gradual reveal, and I'm very interested to see what's going to happen once that all sort of gets pieced together for Kate and everything around that. I'm very excited to see how all that's going to play out. And going into this episode and into this whole series, I wasn't super excited because I've never really been a huge fan of Batwoman. I don't necessarily know why. I've always loved Batman, but I've always had a hard time sort of connecting and understanding Batwoman and her sort of storyline because it is so similar to Batman in some degrees. And just sort of seeing like those sort of archetypal characters be repeated with Alice being very similar in her sort of ways she acts and does things to a mixture of the Mad Hatter and the Joker, and just having all those similarities in my head always sort of made her very off-putting to me. So I've never really been a huge fan of Batwoman, so I wasn't super excited going into the series, but they definitely did do a very good job of sort of honoring her character and honoring her storylines and stuff around that, and I really did enjoy seeing that all playing out there. And that's why I'm not still very super 100% into watching the series going forward, but I'm still going to continue to watch those first few episodes to see what they're going to do, because I always have really enjoyed Alice as a villain. So that introduction of knowing that she was going to be the main villain for at least part of this season, if not the whole season, did make me very interested to at least check the series out. And then just, I really enjoyed the whole concept and stuff around Alice and Kate's dad, and how Alice made the comment that she chose to kidnap Kate's ex-girlfriend rather than Kate because of the fact that Alice knew that Kate's father would do anything to save the ex-girlfriend much more than he would to save Kate. And that was a very harsh moment that they did very, very well. And that led to a bunch of later really great moments in the conversations between Kate and her dad around why he chose to do some of the things that he did for Kate in her life growing up. And that was very entertaining and interesting to see sort of how they chose to build and create that dynamic relationship between Kate and her father. And I'm very interested to see what's going to happen there going forward when he eventually does discover the truth about Kate being Batwoman and the possibility of her working with the Crows more and all this different stuff. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen there going forward. Then everything with Kate and Luke Fox was really well done in those sort of scenes of her putting together the pieces around the truth of who Bruce was in connection to Batman and building that whole sort of Fox Bat person relationship was very interesting to see, and I'm very interested to get to know Luke Fox more going forward and seeing how he sort of will play into this role of this evolution of Batwoman. And then everything in the final sort of fight scene of Kate finally embracing the Bat identity and sort of suiting up and saving her ex-girlfriend and stuff led to a bunch of really great moments, and I really love that sort of building of tension between the Crows and Alice. And Alice gave the captain the option of saving either Sophie or the citizens from a bomb threat, and then having Batwoman swoop in there and sort of foil the plans and stuff. It's very interesting to see how all that played out, and I'm very curious going forward what they're going to do to eventually reveal the truth of Batwoman, and that it isn't that Batman has returned, it's that there's this new person that's sort of taken up the mantle in a bit more of a higher authority than anyone who has previously attempted to. And I'm just very interested to see how that's all going to go going forward. And then eventually what might happen to draw Bruce back into Gotham. I'm very excited to see what might happen there. And just overall, this was a really entertaining and well done first episode, and I'm very interested to see what they're going to do with the storyline going forward, with how much of the plot they sort of revealed in this first episode. And just, yeah, so that's my review of the pilot episode of Batwoman.